Philadelphia, are you ready?
They said, are you ready?
This is Brotherly Love Wrestling Podcast, your first stop for everything professional wrestling. So sit back and enjoy wrestling talk at its finest with your hosts, Larry Hall and Joe Corrado.
And here we are with a very special rendition. Yes, the host of the show, fallout between our very own Brotherly Love co-host, Larry Hall versus Bill Curly Fry.
Hello,
He's a long-time listener, and he might be executive producer.
Executive director, get my title right, thank you.
Executive of the custodial arts for our show. He sprays on the mic and wipes down the keyboard.
Yeah, well, it's, a difficult job having to clean up after your bullshit.
I only ejaculate on the keyboard twice a week.
And yet you're the moderator, and I'm the one going against Bill. But yeah, let's get this on.
We all knew from the very beginning that him being the moderator would be like Triple H as a special guest referee. Something screwy was going to happen.
Yeah, fair point.
Are you saying I'm going to fix the show?
Well, I'm just saying that this is more relational to Daniel Bryan versus Randy Orton with Triple H as a special guest referee.
Makes sense.
So I am the standalone member here against the Brotherly Love Wrestling team.
So we have pitted against each other Larry Hall versus Bill Fry in the Fallout Challenge. We bring a guest on. They're going to debate topics. If you haven't seen it before, shame on you. Get caught up and then watch this episode because you're not going to want to miss it. It's good versus evil. Maybe. Maybe good versus evil. Anyway. All right. You got the questions in front of you, or do you need me to rally them through?
I'm here, but you should probably read them off anyway for the viewers.
So, question number 1, does it devalue the TNT title if Cody keeps winning, considering he's booked himself into a corner winning the title in the first place? Second question, is Taz being the mouthpiece diminish Brian Cage? A debate on the best match so far this year of the first 6 months of the year. That's a debate question in itself. Mm-hmm. Which former WWE talent or former TNA talent would be the best suitable to come into Elevate Impact or take Tessa Blanchard's roster spot? And lastly, is Cage versus Omega for the AEW title, is that the biggest marquee match that breaks the stigma of AEW needing former WWE talent as champion? A couple long ones, hopefully.
New Day.
Got them all.
One more. New Day.
Oh, and as of recently, we found out that New Day is the longest tenured faction in all of WWE history. So does that put them in a top 3 ranking of all time of all factions?
Okay. Your pick, Bill. What do you want to go?
William, you're up.
Let's go best match.
All right.
Starting off that. All right.
What do you want to – I guess it doesn't matter which side you want to take because you're just taking each match.
You're just taking your match, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
And the timer starts now.
AJ Styles versus Daniel Bryan, SmackDown, June 12th for the IC title. Yeah, talk all you want. Mute yourself. All-time classic for the year. I think it's one of the best SmackDown matches we've seen since SmackDown moved to Friday nights. I think if you didn't have commercials and you actually had a crowd, we would be talking about it in a Match of the Year candidate. I think the storytelling was fantastic because we started out with AJ using impact moves and Daniel Bryan using technical wrestling, and then them turning that around on each other as the match went on and got more impactful and more fist fighting as the match went on. Then you get the conniving and smart AJ that we haven't seen since probably the Cena match. Then on top of that, you get AJ and Daniel working specific body parts as well, which how often do we see that where they consistently work on a body part?
Limb targeting.
Continue to sell it through. So I'm going to say AJ versus Daniel Bryan on SmackDown. I think if it had an audience with it, it would have been a much bigger match than anybody give it credit for.
Perfect timing.
All right.
You ready?
I am ready.
Clock starts now.
All right, here's why you're wrong.
Ooh.
A, the match I am picking is the Young Bucks versus Hangman and Omega at Revolution. One, it had a crowd, and the crowd was hot from start to finish. It kept building and building and building, and to the point where the false finishes, and yeah, they can get a little overbearing every now and then, but they fit in with the story. You have the story, like you said, with AJ and Bryan, but this time you have the Elite, who is so tight, who started this, but they're fracturing because Kenny and Hangman, not a great tag team as far as chemistry goes, but in the ring, they're very good. But then you have the relationship with Hangman and the Bucks. Looks a little iffy. You don't know what's going to happen there, which going into this match makes it that much better because you don't know if he's just even going to want to wrestle. Then you just put on a wrestling match, a clinic, whether it's the high-flying spots or the power moves by Hangman, and you see flashes of the old Kenny Omega, classic Young Bucks, on the edge of your seat the entire time. There is not a match through this 6 months, through the pandemic, that can touch Kenny Omega and Hangman retaining the titles against the Young Bucks. That's why I'm right.
Perfect timing. Now we go for a 30-second final rebuttal, and the clock starts now.
I'm going to say, I'll give you credit. That was a great match. And yes, it had a crowd. Ooh. Honestly, at this point, the not having a crowd is the new normal. And if you're going to pit old matches, we might as well put, Michaels versus Taker at WrestleMania 25 against my match because it had a crowd. Ooh. No, if you want a match that sustained and kept the crowd invested, even
Mute. Yeah, you went well over on that one.
I gave him a good grace period.
You did.
I was very lenient with you.
I was surprised.
But I was like, all right, I get to do it because he's not going to shut up.
No, granted, I went over.
And Larry, your final rebuttal starts now.
Are we really diminishing the power of a crowd behind a wrestling match? I mean, they feed off the crowd. They listen, and how they're telling the story and how they're calling the match needs a crowd. And it's not just the crowd; it's a pay-per-view, and it's what they want to build is one of their biggest pay-per-views is Revolution. So all in all, you have the stage, you have the right players, you have a crowd, which you need in wrestling, and you have the best match of 2020 so far.
He really just doesn't want to get muted.
No,
he cut him. I felt him. He cut himself short just so he didn't want to get muted.
You'll find a way, I'm sure.
So now
that could backfire on you. You could be so afraid of the mute that you don't finish your thought. You can't. Don't be.
I had my full thought. I was good. I knew exactly where I was going with that.
See, now my job is not to beat him in a debate. It's to get him so fired up that he goes over and gets muted. That's my goal. If I do that, I win.
It hasn't happened yet in the 2+ years that we've been doing this.
No, I'm very good. Very good at keeping my composure.
All right, Larry, you're up. What question you want?
All right, since he went with the best match, let's go with devaluing the TNT title with Cody keep winning.
All right. And your part of the argument starts now.
All right, so Cody having this TNT title and keep on winning. Right now, you could put a couple people in there, maybe. But you want to add prestige to this title. You want to bring this title up and elevate it. It's brand new. You're a brand new company. So you need a way of doing that. Granted, he's a former WWE guy, but it has the Rhodes name. And what was Dusty good for? Elevating a storyline, a match, whatever he was in, he did it. So you have to use that to your advantage if you're a new company like AEW is, and a way to usher it in. Give it a little prestige, then you can pass it on. Until then, you can't do anything with it. You can't – this opportunity you're giving outsiders, yeah, it's great just to get the name, but Cody is the right guy for it, and he's the only one that's going to elevate that title.
Well, under. All right, Bill, we'll give you a 10-second grace period, and since Larry only went 50 seconds. And it starts now.
Okay, so we want to talk prestige of a title and giving a title prestige. This title is practically the 24/7 championship. It's a random title that they brought in to try and give a mid-card title. It's the U.S. championship. It's whatever title they can throw in the mid-card that they can give Cody because he can't challenge for the top title at this point because of some storyline. We all know that storyline's going out the window. We all know that Cody's only running this title because there's no one else they can really give it to with a name yet because AEW is a new company. So Cody only has the title because no one else has the name value to run with it. Who are you going to give it to? Jericho? Jericho is currently one of your main eventers. You're going to have him run the TNT title? No, it's a mid-card title that Cody's trying to do whatever he can to get over until he can pass it off to somebody else. And honestly, I think the next person that wins it is going to get over because they're tired of having Cody with that title.
Wow. That took a different route. Well under the minute 30. So, final rebuttal, Larry. And go.
The 24/7 title, though, that screwed me up a little bit. I'm going to be honest, but what are people clamoring about that WWE has never done and won't do because it's a WCW thing? Is a TV title. They have a TV title. That's what this thing is perfect for. And you need a little bit of something. You can't just put it on anybody. So at least build it a little bit before you take it off Cody.
All right. Final rebuttal for you, Bill. Go.
Okay, so the only time that people clamored for a TV title when it came to WWE was when Rusev carried the TV monitor away from when he was in the European Union or whatever, the League of Nations. So when he was in the League of Nations, that's the only time people have brought up a TV title because he said it was the TV title when he took the monitor.
All right.
All right.
There.
So, I think I know who won that one. The first one's a toss-up. Moving on to number 3 topic. Bill, which one would you like to choose? Or should I just choose one for you and make it?
You can do that, moderator. You can do that.
But that takes away the home field advantage that he rightfully beat you for in the beginning.
Either way, it don't matter to me.
He gets to pick whatever side he wants. All right, I'm giving it to you. That's it. I'm moderating here. All right, we just did an AEW one. I don't want to harp on that. So why don't we switch it up to Impact Wrestling for a first on this show, this genre of show that we brought up, Impact Wrestling. So kudos to us. Which former WWE talent or former TNA talent would be the best suitable to elevate Impact or take Tessa's spot? Bill, you got it.
They already have it. Tenille Dashwood is currently on the roster, had a match last in March of 2020. Tenille Dashwood could easily have the name recognition, granted former WWE Emma. You know, she has the name recognition on the indies, her ROH time she's known for. Her ability in the ring is, second to none in that company. She might as well be the next one to take it up. I'd love to see a Jordynne Grace versus Tenille Dashwood match.
That was short, and that was unexpected. Larry, you're up. Rapid fire. Go.
Tennille Dashwood, though, I think you got to listen to the question a little bit closer. He's talking about elevating Impact and taking Tessa's spot. Tessa's spot was the world champion. And if I'm going to bring someone in to elevate, it's going to be a guy like Rusev, who we've seen can get over. We've seen can be the guy. Why not bring him in, capitalize on it? I don't know if you make it Rusev Week instead of Rusev Day or whatever his name is going to be. You can
not going to be Rusev.
It's definitely not going to be Rusev. But to that effect, you can do it. You can give him the world title, which he really does deserve. You've seen the way he busts his ass and is really good in the ring and obviously a good personality. That's the guy, among others, secondary. But Rusev should be the one going to Impact, getting that title, and getting the rightful TV time, the title that he wants, and the attention that this guy deserves because he is top-notch when it comes to wrestling.
Both quick. Final rebuttal for you, Bill, starts now.
Rusev going to TNA and winning the world title is like winning the bronze medal. He deserves much better than that, and it sure as heck shouldn't be the Impact world title that he should be winning. It should be either WWE, NJPW, or AEW, honestly. Second of all, we're talking about replacing Tessa. We want a strong female character in Impact to go against the Knockouts naming brand that should have been changed 10 years ago. You want a strong female character to take over that? Tennille Dashwood is it, not Rusev.
I accidentally muted him, or he muted himself.
That's okay. He's not saying
I muted myself. I've
Nice.
been doing that while Larry's been talking out of courtesy.
Oh, wow, a gentleman. I don't want that though. I want him to be able to try and talk over you so it frustrates you.
Good, then I'll just sit here and go every time he tries to talk.
That's fine. Larry, rebuttal, 30-second, go.
All right, bronze medal. I think you're not giving Impact the respect it deserves. The people that are there, the athletes that are there, it's a lot better than people get a credit for, including you. I think it needs to be elevated, and I think that's why Rusev should go there. It needs to be brought up and have a big name like Rusev be there. I get the Tessa spot being a woman thing, but I'm looking at it more as her leaving the world champion spot. And that's why I think Rusev, without a doubt, should go there.
I still muted you.
Yeah.
All right. So that's interesting. I like both points, but I really didn't expect Bill to take that route when he said he was prepared for this. I thought it was a good swerve.
My main idea was with all the speaking out movement going on that we need a strong female character. And if Tessa was the world champion and Tessa has been rumored to be a racist and a bully, then
only you would have said that in your actual argument and not after the fact.
I know.
What you just said doesn't even count. So
no, I get that it doesn't count, but I didn't want to cheapen my argument by using the speaking out movement.
Yes, but this is just like in the movies when we're in the courtroom and they're talking after they've been objected to numerous times just so the jury can see the pity story. You just freaking textbook courtroom drama this.
All right.
All right.
I'm under ECW rules today. Sorry.
That's all right. I forgot we told him to wear an obscure wrestling t-shirt.
Yeah.
Wait, does that have front and back print?
Oh, yeah, it does.
Oh, boy. Mr. Pay-Per-View RVD. Nice.
That's a good shirt.
It is.
Straight out of the bingo hall.
Hell yeah. All right. Larry, you're up. So here we go. The Brian Cage versus Kenny Omega for the AEW title debate topic. Is that the big marquee match that breaks the stigma of AEW needing former WWE talent as champion?
All right. I guess I'm ready.
All right. 3, 2, 1, go.
I think this matchup would break that stigma. just for the sheer fact of you have the power that is Brian Cage, impressive power, and not only that, the athleticism for a guy his size that can pull off. And without saying, what Kenny Omega brings. Well, maybe some people don't know. Kenny Omega is one of the best wrestlers in the world. He hasn't been featured like that on AEW, and in my opinion, I feel like he has to be. This tag team run has to end. He has to become the cleaner that people that watched him in New Japan know him as. And if you have a Kenny Omega on top of his game in his prime against obviously a young, hungry Brian Cage who's in his prime, the sky's the limit for these two, regardless of who you put the title on, because you can go either way. It really, really doesn't matter. My vote would be for Kenny, but then again, I could see with Taz being the mouthpiece of Brian, I think he can hold it too with a really good manager. This match and this matchup and this feud altogether would put AEW apart from NXT, apart from WWE main roster shows, and really change the way everyone looks at it instead of a joke of, oh, you're going to give it to Jericho. Well, okay, now you're giving it to Moxley. And change it up and break that stigma, and this is what it is you can do.
All right. Might have been your strongest argument of the show there, Larry. Bill, you're up now.
I'm going to start it off with this. This question is kind of difficult because everyone is former talent at this point. Everyone's been to every different location. You've got Kenny is former NJPW, Brian Cage, etc., etc. Everyone's going to have a name in AEW from previous locations, so it doesn't really matter who they pull over. It's whether they can get people invested. And honestly, Brian Cage, yeah, he could do it. I think he has the opportunity to be something big in AEW, but I don't think he's the face that you're going to see. I don't think he's the face that can do it. I think if you're going to do Kenny Omega versus somebody, it needs to be somebody that is universally recognized. Someone that when you say that name, it means wrestling. And I don't think Brian Cage is that.
All right, Larry. Final rebuttal now.
All right. Brian Cage, he's not well known. I mean, Impact's not even well known, so how could Brian Cage be that well known? But with talents that he has, and wrestling fans have to get used to AEW building these new names. They got no other choice. And that's why you have to do Brian Cage versus Kenny Omega, because Kenny Omega is more known. So you needed to put both these different guys in that ring for the title.
All right. And go.
Well, if we're going to go that direction, then at this point, if you're going to go Brian Cage is not really that known, then how about somebody not formerly known as well? Do a Brian Cage versus Darby. That could be your Big Show versus Rey Mysterio. Your giant versus, tiny person kind of gimmick.
Yeah, I was hoping he was going to go over just so he could mute him for saying Darby Allin. Ugh.
That question didn't hit how I wanted it to hit. I'm going to be honest. It went two different routes that I thought I saw it going a completely different way, and it didn't. So kudos for you for thinking outside of the box, both of you, but shame on you for not taking it the route that I wanted it to go.
Sorry.
I blame Bill. Speaking of which, Bill, you're up. So we got how many questions we got? You did.
We should have two left.
Two left?
Yeah.
All right. Keep it with AEW. Does Taz being the mouthpiece diminish Brian Cage? And Bill, you are up now.
Does Paul Heyman diminish Brock Lesnar? Does Paul Heyman diminish Brock Lesnar?
Is that a rhetorical question, or you're legitimately asking us?
No, that's my argument.
That's it.
Brock can cut a promo. Brock can cut a promo. Look at the emotion that he showed when he did the, fuck them kids. Like, come on. Brock can get over with a crowd if he keeps to his strengths. But no, they have Heyman there because Heyman's a better talker and because Heyman can put him over. So why it doesn't diminish Brock, Heyman putting him over. So how does Taz putting over Brian Cage diminish him?
All right. Lar, retort now.
Here's how it diminishes, if I can even say the word, Brian Cage. You didn't even give him a chance. Like you said, Brock had a chance. Brock's been in wrestling a long time. He got Heyman when he first started, but he also got to cut promos. He got to do everything he could in the very beginning. It was a lot more him than it is Heyman now. And Brian's not even getting that shot in AEW. What, he said 4 or 5 words behind Taz's back in the background of the shot? Like, no, yeah, it diminishes a guy like that. He's a big guy. He's talked on Impact. We've heard him talk on the indies in the ring. He can talk, and a lot of people don't know that. And they're not going to know that because you're not giving him a chance. Don't get me wrong. Taz, I love Taz. I love the promo he cut last week. It was great. But you should still let him build the skills on national TV, on TNT. Like, you need to give him that chance. You don't give him that chance, then you're going to have another guy who can't cut a promo, who's a big guy that AEW desperately needs because they have a lot of little guys. So you need a big guy that can talk and wrestle the way Brian can. And giving Taz the mic every single time and having him stand in the back and smile and wave to Moxley, it's not good for Brian and becoming a better entertainer.
All right, Bill, he put up a good fight. Your rebuttal. Now.
Hold on, I'm just going to check my watch. It's the 29th. How long has he been on AEW? Not even a month? So, honestly, if he's only been on for a few weeks, and yeah, Taz has been cutting promos, he's had half of a promo last Wednesday.
All right. Short and sweet. Lar, go.
How long have the Revival been on, and how much have they talked? How many times have they gotten the mic? They got to sit down. But yet Brian Cage, you've given right to Taz. So the length of time ain't going to matter. You either expect him to succeed or you're afraid that he's going to, so you handcuff him and just be safe until you can finally figure it out.
All right.
God, I wish I could rebut that. Oh, my God, I wish I could rebut that.
Is the nature of the beast that is this show that you better get what you want to say out first or you're going to feel like an idiot later. And that's our motto.
I'm going to write the longest novel text message after this meeting's done. Just going off about that part.
Unfortunately, this isn't first take, so you can't just interrupt me and get your point across like Stephen A. So that's the best part about this.
Although that would be pretty comical.
It would.
All right, so we're down to the final question. I'd say it's a tight race right now. What do we have, 6 questions?
Yep.
I'd say it's probably pretty easy. 3-2, depending on how you want to look at it.
I'm just going to start skipping you all the time.
I can just mute him if you'd like. And he'll just be making faces without sounds.
Yeah.
So, final question. Larry, you're up first, right?
Yes.
And it's the New Day being the longest tenured faction in WWE history. Does that put them, or everything that they've done so far, does that put them top 3 faction of all time?
Oh, boy.
And go.
Man, this is hard because I honestly don't even know which way I want to go. But
I know which way you want to go, and you're second guessing.
As a clarifier before we start,
We've already
it doesn't matter. Just stop the timer. Go ahead.
Are we talking all-time stables, or are
Yes.
we talking
Yes,
just
top
WWE?
3 all time.
Top 3 all time.
Okay,
Okay, not
Well-
just WWE.
Not just WWE, but
wrestling.
I mean, if you're going to
Okay.
look back on it, there's maybe 2 other factions that weren't WWE that made the list of
Yeah.
the top 10.
Yeah.
The NWO and the Four Horsemen.
Yeah.
Okay,
So there's that. Larry, you're up.
all right. So I'm just gonna go with my gut and go with the way I want it to go, and I'm gonna say no. They are not top 3 all time.
I knew it.
The reason they're not top 3 all time was, well, hey, we just said it, and that's the NWO and the Four Horsemen. Four Horsemen being number 1. Period. There is no other. The Four Horsemen were it. You had the best of the best, and they're not going to be beaten. And NWO, they changed wrestling. Period. DX is only DX because of the NWO. And they might even be 4. I don't even think they'd be 3. I can't see it as great as they are. All 3 of them. Xavier is an amazing talker, a great wrestler. Kofi, amazing wrestler. Big E, entertaining as hell and a great wrestler. All of them are amazing. But there's too much history in front of them. Even if they still keep going and win a couple more tag titles, they're still not going to catch the Horsemen or the NWO. And for that matter, DX, with what they've done with the company and wrestling. So, yeah, they're not getting in.
All right. You did hear me say top 3 first, right?
Yeah.
You were really weary on that top 3.
Yeah, because I was
So DX is your
yeah, DX is 3. I was still kind of debating who I wanted to put at 3. That's why I said that.
All right. Bill, you're up now.
Okay, so how many times have DX broken up and gotten back together? How many times have we had rehashes of just Triple H and Shawn? How many times have we had NWO come out and help Sting in the ring against Triple H?
Once.
They're played out. They've been used too many times. At this point, they are accomplishing more than almost any other faction, and they're still together. They have not broken up. There have been no fractures whatsoever. They are the longest tenured for a reason, because they are the biggest merch movers. They draw in crowds everywhere. There are people, no matter what age you are, support the New Day.
Welcome back, host.
Yeah, I got booted out.
Okay. Well,
Okay, well, you didn't
were
miss
good.
much. I just won, so you didn't miss much.
I don't know about all that.
I have no idea what the fuck happened.
You're good. We kept
All
going.
good.
All right, so I just left.
Yeah, you just left for a little bit. You weren't contributing to the conversation anyway, so we're good.
Well, that's what I figured, because you guys both
Yeah.
froze. I was just like, oh, fuck, here we go again. And then it booted me out.
No, we're good.
I was just pointing out that they're the biggest merch mover and biggest faction merch mover in the history of WWE.
And you froze again.
Oh, see,
All right. I get my 30 seconds.
go ahead.
Yes, you do. And I will give it to you now.
Merch mover, I'm not even going to touch that, because you look at the NWO, you look at DX, you don't have the fans today that you did back then, and they'll crush the New Day with their merch. As far as them coming up, not fracturing, you have to break up eventually, and that's what DX and NWO did. NWO, there was 50 fucking people, 50 members, and DX, were growing old, they couldn't do it anymore, but they're not even close to any 3 of them.
All right, Bill. Final rebuttal starts now.
Okay, well, here's the point. Most of those factions that you're naming were all mostly individual people. Can you honestly, Triple H by himself, Shawn Michaels by himself, Nash and Hall by themselves, Hogan by themselves. When you think of Xavier Woods, what do you think? New Day. When you think, you get what I'm saying? They are a faction through and through. Whereas other people have individual accomplishments separate they are a faction. They will always be a faction.
And you know what? I didn't want to mute it either because I thought it was a very good thing.
I could see you going towards it with your eyes. Like, I didn't even have to see you move. I saw your eyes move up to the top corner to go mute him.
No, I really wanted to hear what he had to say, too. And he was only at 35. So you got lucky this time, Bill. You hit the soft spot because I wanted to hear that. I wanted to hear that over anything. I was partial.
Mm-hmm.
So there we have it.
That wraps
First
it up.
time on in a while. Your first time Zoom meeting with us. You had to debate.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, the last time was the New Year's special.
That's
Yeah, that
right.
should go.
And look, see, that's why we're in this fucking mess, because we had him on first of the year. Look what the rest of the year has been.
So now everything works in reverse and gets better, right?
Hopefully, that's how it works.
You
See,
think?
it's like two negatives. They cancel each other out and form a positive.
We just move forward from here on out, all the rest of the shows.
So we can never have him on again if things get better.
Technically.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
If things get worse, oh well.
We're fucked if things get worse.
If things get worse, there's not going to be wrestling anymore. So we'll be doing a different kind of podcast at that point.
Very true.
We'll be doing our cooking show that we were talking about.
Exactly. Or the Twitch channel where we play video games.
I don't play video games.
I do.
What are you going to
Me
watch me play? You going to watch me play fucking, I don't know, Mario Kart or NWO on fucking...
Do you think people tune into this to watch you do anything? No, they tune in because they want to get wrestling information and because you shoot off at the mouth half the time.
They definitely don't come here for wrestling information. If anyone comes here for wrestling information...
Wrestling viewpoints, and wrestling information
Opinions.
because you do the interviews. So technically, it's information they wouldn't have gotten elsewhere.
We'll give you the interview part.
I'll give you the interview part, but if you're coming here for wrestling information, you have the most warped and skewed viewpoint on wrestling ever.
Why do you think I'm here?
Case in
You
point.
got lost at a show, honestly, and you fucking needed help, and you came to us for some reason. You just stuck for the rest of the fucking our life.
Well, you know what? I walked up. I said I liked your shirt.
That's true.
What was I wearing?
You were wearing the Gritty Club shirt.
Oh, I thought I was wearing a mesh tank top.
No,
I knew that was going to go somewhere dark.
I just missed that late
I was wearing-
80s, early
And I had the
90s
nipple
outfit.
cut out, and I had a tassel in. Hey, man, nice shirt. I wear that on Wednesdays.
Speaking of ECW,
What?
no, but you what's it
25
called?
minutes ago, maybe.
No, you were wearing the Gritty Club shirt, and I said, "Where can I get that shirt?"
That was a
And
great
then
shirt.
you guys mentioned about the podcast, and then,
Yo, you know what? We should bring that shirt back, but not on Pro Wrestling Tees. There's a different site that I just ordered a shirt from. What a
Maneuver?
Yeah. And I was looking. We don't need to pay them anything. And
As we're talking business on the podcast.
you know what? This is your marketing and advertising portion of the Fallout show. So take some notes and fucking get an education while you're at it. Anyway.
yeah, get an education, and then come get a
I'm
really
definitely
good
cutting
job,
this
make a
out.
lot of money, and then invest in us so that we can make our own wrestling promotion.
Yes.
Yes. That's the goal now.
First. Wrestling promotion is one.
Mm-hmm. Sounds like a plan to me.
Well, then how about this? How about anyone who wants one of the Gritty Club shirts? We can post it up on the Brotherly Love Wrestling Twitter. Anybody who would want one of those, put it in the comments.
yes.
It's going to be a much
let us
hotter
know.
shirt once the Flyers win the cup.
Yes.
Once
sure.
we win the cup, it's going to fucking sell like hotcakes.
Yes.
Exactly.
Gritty Club will spread all over the city of Philadelphia.
Yes. The
So-
world.
So put out a tweet and ask people if they would want that shirt, and then we'll
I
go
think
from
the
there.
main people already got that shirt.
So
Yeah.
I'll
Yeah.
buy a second one.
I think it's us three here, and then like JB down in Tampa.
Yeah.
That's about it.
I know
That's it.
plenty of people. I bet
no,
Jeff
the
would want
quality
one.
of shirt. You know how when you go on Pro Wrestling Tees and the quality of shirt is like cardboard, and if you want to get the good one, you got to
Mhm.
pay an extra for. That's their main shirt is the soft style shirt.
Nice.
So that's their default shirt. So
Nice.
it only goes up from there. So right now I'm promoting What a Maneuver. I didn't know I was going to be doing that today, but hey.
Hey, if it gets us a little bit cheaper price, then why not? We'll promote them every show.
Yeah. And
So-
they can throw a kickback to us.
That will wrap up not only Fallout, but obviously our T-shirt talk and joining What a Maneuver. So, no, he did not win. I won.
No, actually, it's he.
Well, to me and to everybody else, he is on that side here.
Why is he down here for me?
Because I don't know, because it's what you see.
That
But
was creepy. Let's move on.
Says the two guys that were going like this in the beginning of the show. So I hope that no one has sound on when we're doing that, and they just take it out of context. Like, okay, so what are we doing?
Hopefully, some of our fans who are currently living in their parents' basement have their mom come down with chicken nuggets to see that part of the
Now you just made me hungry for chicken
video.
nuggets.
See, enjoy that.
I had chicken nuggets today, actually.
So let's wrap this show up. We've talked enough about random shit and a little
We
bit of
haven't done
wrestling.
that in such a long time, though.
Yeah, well, we got to do a little bit more, obviously, because it's obviously dying to get out of us.
Not only that, because wrestling has sucked so bad that random shit has become more aesthetically pleasing to talk about.
Very true. So to vote on who won, we will be putting out a tweet in our thread underneath our usual podcast episode post, and we will have a poll going for the next 3 to 4 days, whether you can vote for that guy there, or me, and see who you thought voted, or who you thought won. You can vote. We don't have to vote.
I think
And,
you should put me as secret option 3 and see if I won.
You
Fi-
would
final
probably
argument.
fucking win.
Final argument: who wears a yellow shirt?
What's wrong with my yellow fucking shirt? Brian Cage.
What a
What the fuck's wrong
strange
with this?
argument. What a strange-
RVD.
What a strange way to try and end an argument show.
Right?
Who wears a yellow shirt? You're better than that. We taught you better than that.
Well,
Debatable.
Thank you for watching, everyone. We hope you enjoyed the show, and we'll be talking to you very soon.
I muted his ass. I
That's
should have
even
done
better.
it fucking 10 minutes ago when he made the yellow shirt comment.
All right. Time to go.
Later.